Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. Let me get this off the screen. Let's see if I remember how to do that. Okay, we're back. Hey Tag, how you doing? So a little bit of a late start today, guys, and I'll tell you why that happened in just a minute. Let's go to, let's continue the job. We'll finish off the playground. I think we were mostly done with this. Let's pop in here. Continue. Yep, there's our playground. It's looking pretty spiffy if you just, keep your eyes on the ground. So, I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Mine is going pretty okay. So let's get to this. Let's see if I remember the controls. Let's see, I'm going to turn that up just slightly on my end. A little bit quiet. I'm just commuting back home at the moment. Trains on Sunday aren't fun. Oh, taking the train. You guys over in the UK have better trains than we do. If you really want an interesting experience, take the train here. We have something called BART, which stands for Bay Area Rapid Transit. It's like, I don't know, 30 years old or something, and it shows it. I mean, it's fine. It works fine. A lot of people take it every day, but last time I took it was when we went into San Francisco for a Giants game, I think. And this was probably, it has to be 3 or 4 years ago now. And yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. It's old. That's what I can say about it. Yeah. So, bit of an interesting morning this morning. Not the end of the world, but it got me. This is why we're going this late to start with. So, the first game that I record on Sundays is Immortals, and so I recorded it, and it went really well. I thought it was a good episode. It was an hour long, and I was pretty pleased with where we left things off. And then I looked over at the end of the recording after signing off and everything and realized the recording software had locked up right at the beginning of the episode. And nothing that I had done had recorded. So I had to redo it from scratch. Fortunately, that game has distinct saves, and I could go back to the save that I had from the last week and just redo the whole thing. So I had to redo that whole entire hour-long episode. It actually took me a little less time because I wasn't screwing around, and the first time was blind, and I didn't really know. You got to figure things out, right? And so the second time I did it, it was faster, but not by much. I think it was about 10 minutes faster, 15 minutes faster. But yeah, that was fun. The recording software I use is the software that came with the capture card, which is a pretty decent piece of software. It's usually pretty reliable, as long as you have it set up right. But it doesn't like it when you change resolutions while it's running, or mess with the screen in any way, like if you switch to full screen. So what it will do is, right when you start, it will sometimes freeze up. It's not like it crashes and it tells you that it's crashed. It just freezes. So you really got to look at it. And that's what happened this morning. I started the game, and like I said last week, the Immortals takes forever to load up. So I'm like 2 minutes into the recording, and so I'm thinking, okay, everything's fine. Hey, Evra. Yeah, I'm 2 minutes into the recording and everything seems fine. And then, so I look away from it and I start playing the game. But apparently the game switched resolutions at some point right after that and locked it up. And so none of that stuff recorded. So I was like, Fortunately, I didn't do anything super, super difficult. What just clicked? I don't know what that was. Everything I did was pretty relatively. I mean, I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was fine. I could redo it. No big deal. And it is fortunate that game has a like distinct save system, so that you can go back to old saves instead of just like many of the games now just have one save and it auto saves for you. So if that would happen in a game like that, that day is lost. So yeah, I mean, it was my bad. I really need to pay more attention to that thing, especially as I'm starting up and making sure it's going. But nobody to blame but myself for that one. But it was fine. I redid it. It's all good. But that's why we're starting just a little bit later today, because I had some technical difficulties this morning. Yeah, how you doing? Playing some Fall Guys. Remind me what that is. I don't remember Fall Guys. It sounds familiar. Is it a shooter? Nice. Well, this whole underside has to be done. Ooh, click. So yeah, that was interesting. Other than that, the games went fine. No real worries. I actually did two. I'm gonna get this wrong. Two separatist assaults this morning for Lego, which you guys know my feeling on the assault missions. But we have more assault missions than we would be able to get through in the number of episodes we have left. So I've got to double them up a few times. So I decided to do that today. And it went all right. It was fine. The second one was a little bit tricky. Got me a little bit stressed. Because when you're playing separatists, the only thing I know that will destroy gold buildings, there's two things. There's the spider drones will destroy them, which is what I primarily use. And if you don't have that, then there's also photon torpedoes, which you need like 5 bases for or something to build a photon torpedo like armory thing. So I'm playing through it, and it gives you plenty of time. I mean, plenty of time. But it'll only give you what it'll give you, right? It'll like take things out depending upon the mission. And it took out my spider drones, so I didn't have spider drones available during the mission. And it took out the photon torpedoes. So I got all the way to the 5th base and realized I didn't have photon torpedoes. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to use to destroy the gold? The only thing I could come up with was building a droid factory and using like droids to destroy the gold things, which is really super inefficient, but I think maybe that's what they wanted you to do. Okay, this looks pretty good. I think this is done. Let's see. Cross-platform massively multiplayer party royal game as the wikis. Okay. Like, what's the game I'm trying to think of? Yeah, I know what you mean. So anyway, yeah, a little bit of a stressful episode with Lego this morning, just because I was going for, and it's not like they tell you. It's not like they say, you know, this is what you have available. You just have to figure it. You know, you just have to figure it out. So I was going for 5 bases so that I could build this particular the photon torpedo dispenser, and then only to find out that they disabled it, that you can't have one. I'm like, well, what the hell? So I wasted time trying to do that when I could have been, you know, building droids is no problem. You just need 1 base or 2 bases to build droids. So I wasted a lot of time. Fortunately, they gave you a lot of time on that one. But some of those you really have to kind of learn. Like, you're going to fail them until you know what's available and what's not. Because a situation like that happens and you waste time and you don't have time to waste. So you're going to have to do it a couple times to learn what you've got available to you, or you can actually succeed at it. It's a weird game. But on the good side, we're two assault missions closer to being done with the assault missions. That's good. Oh, we got a message. Creosote is fungicidal, cheap, and just an absolute joy to pour. Admittedly, it's also profoundly toxic to humans when ingested. Something. I don't know what the rest of that said. Hang on. Messages. Humans when ingested. Swings and roundabouts. Okay. Is he going to bring up more? Is he done with that story? I'm trying to think if anything interesting happened in the games yesterday. Not really. I mean, you know, they were fine. God of War, we're doing side missions. If you are familiar with God of War Ragnarok, the section that I'm in, which is Vanaheim, I think, is really big. It's huge, and I think it's the biggest realm in the game. So I'm working my way through that. I think I'm on my 3rd episode of being in Vanaheim now, and I've got at least 1 more to go, if not more. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see. Let's grab the ladder. Yeah, I mean, that game, I think we're further through it than I think. I mean, I want to say we're approaching 40%, so it doesn't seem like we've gotten that far, but in reality, I think we actually have. Further along the way, we realize. I don't know at what point I'm going to reach where I haven't played before. I think I've said before that I got to hell in my original playthrough, which was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And that's as far as I got. Now I couldn't tell you how far into hell I was, but I think yeah, I'll find out when I get there. I'm sure it'll jog my memory, but. Interesting. I think these bars are individual pieces. Probably not. So yeah. I mean, it went fine. There's a lot of subquests in Vanaheim, or side quests. There's the main side quest, which is Freya's whole thing, and then a bunch of other little mini side quests that you run across. So yeah, working our way my way through those. I think once you finish Vanaheim, that's a major step towards finishing the game. Not that you'll be able to 100% it right away. It's just like all the other realms. There's stuff in there that you can't do till later. You don't have the equipment. Very Metrovania. So what are you guys up to today? Anything interesting? Don't want to go up there. Am I going with Saints Row? The DLCs are so freaking boring. This is still Saints Row 2 that you're working on? Let's see. If I remember the DLCs for that game. I know Dex was one of them. Thing with Dex. And then is it something with clowns? It's been such a long time since I played any of the Saints Row games. Okay. Oh, damn. Oh, the reboot. Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I remember now. You were saying you were doing the new one. We talked about that last time. Well, that one I can't help you with. I don't know anything about it. Okay, let's see, what do I want to do here? Let's grab you. So, I'm trying to think about what happened in the games this week that you guys might be interested in. I did, in the Saboteur, I did pick up one of the perks this week. I went and got into a wolf tank and used it to do. I was trying to do two different perks. Which one of them was to destroy a wolf and a zeppelin in the same alarm, and the other one is to destroy 20 vehicles or 20 Nazi vehicles in the same vehicle. And I consider that second one to be the harder of the bunch. That's the one that I got done. As soon as that one popped, I had already destroyed by that point a Zeppelin, but so all I had to do was destroy the wolf, which you think would be really, really easy, but I got overwhelmed. I mean, you have to get out and put a charge on it. That's all you really have to do. And I couldn't manage it because there was just a million things around me. I was on a level 5 alarm at that point. And I tried, but... So I consider that to be the easier of the two, because actually you don't need to go that high of an alarm to get the Zeppelin to fly over you. So all I got to do is, like, go back to that same spot where the wolf is. Grab it. Go up to, I think, about level 3, and then a Zeppelin will come, and then destroy the Zeppelin with the wolf, and then get out and destroy the wolf. It's really shouldn't be that hard. I'm stuck. Looks pretty good. Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. But so I managed to get the harder of the two, what I would consider the harder of the two. And then, so I've got 3 perks left in that game to get done. And I don't think, once I do that Wolf Zeppelin thing, I think the other ones are almost automatic. One of them is to win a race, which, easy. That's part of the story. I'm going to do that anyway. And what's the other one? I can't remember what the other one was, but it's something. Oh yeah, collecting all the cars, which I've mostly done already. I'm missing like 3 race cars. Which I can't get until I open up that one spot that's all the way on the northeastern side of the map. So that won't be any problem. Once that opens up, I think we're about to open up, based on what's happening in the story right now. So, I feel like the perks are about done. I'll get that other perk next week. I feel like it should be pretty quick and easy to do. Yeah, that game actually, that's another one that we might be closer to the end than I think we are. Stuck again. And then there's Dragon Ball. I mean, Dragon Ball is Dragon Ball. It is what it is. There's nothing really much to say about Dragon Ball. I did all like a whole mess of side missions this week in Dragon Ball. So we are on Saga 3 out of a total of 4 in the main game. Don't include the DLCs. And I'm about 80% of the way through Saga 3. So that's a pretty good amount. And then there's a bunch of side missions in Saga 3, and we've done all but one. The one that is left isn't open yet, but it's about to open up because it's in the next section of the game, of the story. So as soon as that opens up, we'll do that, and then we'll be done with the side missions, and then it's just a matter of flying through the missions. Well, that was pretty generous of them. So yeah. See that little support thingy? Yeah. Getting those bits is hard, isn't it? There you go. So the roof, this is all good. get stuck on these roof tiles. So, because I have so much extra time, and I'm being sarcastic about that, I am actually looking at the Unreal Engine stuff. I'm researching how I would do that mini-map system I was talking about. Now, I should stress that I am not an expert in that particular aspect of coding at all, programming. Unreal Engine, I've messed with it a bit, but certainly it changes all the time, and I just don't keep up with it. But I have been looking into how it would be done, how other people have done similar things. There's nobody's really done it exactly the way I would want to do it. These tiles are hard to walk around on. But I do know, I have a general idea of what I would like to do. So I think I will probably start messing with it. Right now I've just done research. I haven't actually even opened up Unreal Engine, but I will. The first step would be to do a visibility cone and line of sight kind of stuff and determine what the player can see and what they can't. And I'm going to be using a post-processing volume kind of material to do this, to do the thing, and then a rendering target. It's all kind of complicated, but once that step is done, then actually I think the rest of it's pretty easy. I'll show it to you guys when I get it started. I don't know how much time I'll have to spend to goof around with it, but it's just something I want to goof around with. Not that I'm going to do anything with it, probably, I'm sure, but... who has time for that? This playground is no joke. This thing this takes a while. There's lots of nooks and crannies everywhere, isn't there? What are we at? We're at 85%? So yeah, that was the games this week. Nothing super interesting to report, except for that stupid Immortals, which... and that was my fault. I really can't shift the blame on anybody else. I just didn't look over at the recording software when I should have. It is actually a really good thing that that game has distinct saves. Otherwise, I would have been screwed. You know, a lot of games these days don't. They don't have distinct saves. They just use the same save slot and just autosave for you. Okay. Anything interesting happened this week? One thing interesting did happen. The strangest timer, it's so packed. Aw, sorry. I hate being in closed spaces with a lot of people. It's like the primary reason I don't really go to concerts anymore. Because I just can't deal with being packed in like that. Just, I wouldn't say I'm claustrophobic, but it's borderline. You know, it doesn't freak me out or anything, but I don't like it. There you go. Yeah, one thing interesting did kind of happen this week that I suppose I could tell you guys about. I don't. When I got into work on, gosh, I guess it was Thursday morning, I had an email from payroll. Apparently, they had been notified by, I don't know, the people who do stocks and stuff, that my wife had some stock options that they needed to pay out to me. So they sent me a bonus, which was nice. You know, all things considered, I'd rather have my wife, but that's not bad to get an unexpected bonus like that. How often does that happen? Or emails you and say, oh, by the way, we owe you some money. Almost never. That was nice. I'm probably going to use all of that money to buy myself a new computer. Thing there. I've just about decided that's what I'm going to do. Rather than try to... This one, there's nothing wrong with this one. I just built this one... I built this one 5 years ago. And you may think, well, that's pretty old for a computer. But when I build computers, I build them pretty nice, so they're meant to last a while. I usually get about 10 years out of my computers before they start to get to the point where they need to be replaced. And, you know, with occasional upgrades in between. And this one's only 5 years old. It's a perfectly good computer. It's still actually considered to be relatively powerful. It's not the most powerful one on the market right now, but it's still reasonably good. I cannot get up into this little crevice. So it's too early yet to replace this one. But on the other hand, like I said in the last episode, there's a couple of reasons why I could. Oh, this whole back end hasn't been done yet. Hey, there you go. So I might go ahead and do it. I could conceivably give this one to my daughter, but we just got her a computer not too long ago for school, so. I think my older daughter wouldn't be interested, but she might. A lot of train travel when my partner lives in Wales. Good motivation to get a car. I could afford it. I have social anxiety, so any space with people in his life for me. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Actually, the last concert I went to was with my younger daughter. She wanted to go see Gracie Abrams. And so I went with her it was in San Francisco. And I was very definitely the oldest person there, and probably just about one of 3 guys in the entire room. But I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not by much, maybe. And I would not be surprised if I was like the oldest person there. I wasn't really there to see Gracie, but actually I kind of enjoyed it. Gracie's not bad. I like going to see concerts. I used to do it all the time, but not so much anymore because I just can't, like I said, I can't deal with crowds getting packed into stuff like that. And then there's the getting out of the arena, that whole drive thing, or not drive, but like getting out of the parking lot, which just takes about a million years. To me, that's another thing that I just don't, I can't deal with anymore. It's the same with baseball games. It's like going to the game itself is fun, but trying to get out, kind of horrific. It almost ruins the experience. That's why we took Bart that one time. Or not that one time, but a couple of times we took Bart. But that's a whole experience all by itself. It takes forever to get there. And of course, everybody has the same idea, so they're all going to the game. The trains are packed, just like yours, Michael. So that's not really much better. I mean, you don't have to deal with the driving and stuff, but you're still packed in with a bunch of people, and it's just crazy. That does give me a little bit of anxiety, especially when I have my kids with me. Well, not so much now because the kids are older, but back when they were younger, and you have to keep track of where they are, and there's like 10 billion people around you. I think it stressed both me and my wife out to do that sort of stuff. After a while, we just kind of stopped doing it. Just easier to watch on TV. How far away is Wales from you, Michael? And how long of a trip? Sorry, I'm not trying to dox you. It's just you don't have to answer that if you don't want to. Yeah, long trips are a bummer. I'm gonna have to drive up to Oregon, which for me is about an 8-hour drive. Sometime next year. Not anytime super soon, but... And I haven't been in there, or up there, in years and years, so it's probably... I probably should. I have family up there. It's about 50 miles from me. 3 train rides. Ugh, that's a pretty good trip. I'm actually going to a wedding in about a year. A little less than a year now. For which I am the best man. So, yep, I'll be doing that. The other side of these struts are probably dirty. Yeah. There you go. Just checking on my stream, making sure everything's okay. Let me know if anything is going wrong there, guys. I can't always look over and see. You know? Or I mean, I can, but I generally don't. Ooh, rat bastard. How dare you be dirty on the other side. There we go. So, yeah. We shall see. I'm going to be popping open Unreal Engine as soon as I have some time and playing around with that. Should be fun. I'm kind of interested in it, seeing what I can do with it. As easy as they try to make it in Unreal Engine, and they try to simplify it as much as they can, I think, but it's a complicated endeavor. You know, game engines are not easy, and even in an engine, it's doing its best to help you out. There's so many like checkboxes, and it's so complicated that there's nothing easy about it. It's a difficult. Oh, you don't want to come down here. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. It is. So, I suppose that's why I didn't really keep up with it. There was a time when I did, but... I think I might have mentioned this last week, but there was a time in my life when I did professional coding in C++. And that's, for a little while, that's how I made a living. Like I was an independent contractor. And I did work for scientific companies, because that was my degree. So I had a pretty good knowledge of science, and so I could do like programs for controlling instruments and taking data and graphing it or what have you. Okay, take time. And that was fine for a little while. This is back in the 90s, I guess. But I had to get out of it. The companies that I worked for kept shrinking. Not the companies themselves, but my client base kept shrinking because the companies were kept merging with each other, and which is something that's still happening to this day. I mean, it's not stopped. There's so few left anymore. And as they get bigger, they start to get their own IT departments, and then they didn't need me anymore, right? So, started to realize that I was kind of relying on one single company at one point to pay all my bills and stuff, and that's never a good. If your client base is one person or one company, then you're in trouble. So, I mean, it was around that time that I got an offer from a company, and that's the same company I still work for today. So yeah. Although they've changed names a couple of times since then. Not just names, they've changed hands. The original company was an independent And then it got sold to a conglomerate, and then that got sold to another conglomerate, even bigger, and that's where we are today. Oh, our roof is still dirty. I mean, obviously, but I'm only halfway. I must have to still do the top. Why won't you come clean? I demand you come clean. But even that, like, scientific instruments can get to be pretty complicated. Right? I mean, you're talking about mass specs. That's a super complicated system. And honestly, that's nothing compared to games. Programming games is 10 times more complicated than anything I ever did in science. Yeah, this that thing is still dirty, and I can't get to it. Whatever, we'll get to it later. I think C++ is a bit of a dying language now. I think everyone's moved on to C# is a big one that was starting to take over for a while. I'm not sure that's the case anymore, but I'm not really sure what people program in anymore, if they even do. Coding, I don't really code directly all that much anymore, I don't think. I think people use engines. If they're going to do, like, even, not even for games even, but, you know, you can use engines for lots of different stuff, like architectural stuff and demonstrational stuff, and like doing virtual tours and stuff of houses. You don't do that directly in code anymore. You do that in an engine. I think it's a bit of a dying art form. Not that you can't get work, because I mean, you know, somebody's got to program the engines. That's all done in either assembly language or C++, generally speaking. But if you're doing a game these days, you don't code directly in C++ anymore. You can. Unreal Engine does have plugins that you can code functions in C++. And then you plug them into what you've got in the engine. So it's not impossible, but oh, I didn't mean to fall off. Ooh. Give me that ladder. There we go. You're a bastard. Come here, you. Yay. Got that thing. So yeah, I got a pretty busy day today, which is it's fine. But I've got a lot of chores to get done. Things that beyond the usual YouTube sort of thingies. Ladder for a second there, guy. I have this big giant fish tank out in the living room that needs maintenance. So I'm gonna have to go out there and work on that. That's one of my big chores for today. Ah! I fell off again. Alright, come here, you. Bing. How are we doing? We have $510. Nice. Has there been any news out of the gaming world this week? It seems like, I don't know, we talked about this last week, what games were coming out and stuff, but I was just thinking, you know, it seems like it's been a while since we've had a Tomb Raider game. I'm wondering what they're doing with that. I wonder if Laura's coming back or not. Those were fun games. I enjoyed the Tomb Raider games. I haven't played the originals in forever and ever, but the reboots were fun. They've made remasters of the originals. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did see that. Is that like an independent like effort from just like some not even developers, but like just fans did that, didn't they? Wow, that was quite generous of them as well. Yeah, I saw those. If I were ever to do the original Tomb Raiders, I'd probably do the remasters. Cool. That's good. What do we got left here? Okay. Oh, we got the dinosaur. We haven't even touched the dinosaur yet. So how are we doing here? Still saying he has issues. Don't see anything. Oh, okay. There you go. What's your deal? Huh. No, no, no. Get back up on the roof. Get back up on the roof. Get back up on the roof. Come on, you can do it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You can do it. There you go. Come on, get unstuck, please. Yay. These things are kind of a pain. Have you checked out the remasters, Evra? Same problem. I'm just asking full price for the games that are 23 years old is insane, even if it's been somewhat graphically enhanced. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Are they full priced? Are they like $60, $70 games? But aren't they guys, are they I don't actually need this. I don't know where I'm going with that. Aren't they packaged like 3 games in a set or something? I thought I saw that. But yeah, I mean, that is a bit much of an ask for games that are that old. $30 per trilogy. So like $10 a game? I don't know. I mean, I get it. I understand what you're saying. They might have been better served to do them, or to price them at $10 for each game, maybe, instead of trying to package them into one $30 package. Better than Rockstar Action 50 bucks for Red Dead Redemption. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit insane. I got a little irritated with Rockstar during the whole Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare fiasco, which they completely broke with the last patch, and then they were like, "Nope, that's it. We're not gonna fix it," and it was broken. If you watch my playthrough, I could only play it for a little bit at a time before it started bugging out. RDR wasn't even remastered, just the same game ported to the next gen consoles. Yeah. To me, the way they left Undead Nightmare was inexcusable. That's just, there's no excuse for that. You can't leave a game in that kind of state. And I'm pretty sure I was on a console. I think I played it on the 360. So it's not like, you know, the buggy games on a console. I mean, when they first come out, sure, there's bugs. It happens. You know, they don't catch everything, but they need to fix those bugs. And on console, everybody's dealing with the same hardware. It's not like I can understand on PC where everyone's got different hardware, and so you can't really. It's hard to catch every last little bug because some things are depending on, you know, what graphics card you have and all that kind of stuff. So I get that, but on a console, there's no reason to leave game-breaking bugs in a console. It's the same thing with Dragon Ball Z's Card Warriors thing, which was crashing constantly. So there's no reason for that. They have to fix that. You know, they're just. I guess they're assuming nobody's playing it because they changed it from multiplayer game to a single player game. I guess they thought, well, nobody cares anymore. I don't really know, but that game crashes to the. I would say desktop, but it's not desktop. Crashes to the front page all the time, continuously. Undead Nightmare released here on PS4 through didn't really have any issues. Oh yeah, okay. Maybe they fixed it. Although they hadn't fixed it when I'd played it. And I didn't exactly play it right after it came out. And my understanding was they weren't going to. The whole headless zombie thing and yeah. I mean, you can see it in my playthrough when you watch my channel. If you go back to the Undead Nightmare playlist, it was a mess. And, yeah, there's no reason for that. Multiplayer was quite buggy though, but not ridiculous. Yeah, sure. Multiplayer, I get that. Multiplayer's hard. These things. Okay. The Stego slide. Just one piece, I guess. Okay, sorry, Mr. Stegosaurus guy. I gotta get the undercarriage here. Can't get under here. Okay. Well, that's good. Maybe it was maybe it was specific to the console. I think I'm pretty sure I played it on the Xbox 360. I want to say that's what I did. I don't think it was PC, although I could be wrong. At that time, I would not have had a PlayStation, so it had to either be PC or Xbox. I got stuck in a slide a few years ago. You got stuck in a slide? How did you get stuck in a slide? Like a real life slide are we talking about? Okay. It would have been Xbox because it only came on the PC with a... Yeah. Okay, sure. Hey, there's his eyeball. Yeah, it must have been. So maybe it was just an Xbox thing. And they just weren't going to fix it for the Xbox. I wonder if it's still broke. I mean, they said they weren't going to... That was it. They were done. Rockstar is a big company, and, you know, I think they have to be mindful of their bottom line. As do all companies, I get that, but they can't just send a team in to work on some game if there's no profit in it, I suppose, but I don't know. I don't see how you leave a game in that condition. I think, if I remember reading right, it was the patch that broke it. Like, it was in pretty okay shape, and then they did a patch that just messed it up. And I don't know if the patch was like released early because Rockstar decided it wasn't financially feasible to go working on it anymore, And so they just released it as it was, and it wasn't done yet. It's possible, I suppose. It clearly was broken. But I mean, if you're going to release a patch like that, just don't release the patch. I mean, the game itself was fine. I don't know. I wouldn't say it was fine, but it wasn't game-breakingly buggy prior to the patch, at least from what I understand. Who knows? There's probably some behind-the-scenes stuff that I don't know anything about going on there. Let's see, what are we doing? What are we looking at here? I think it's always tricky to see. Oh, it's like been an hour. Jeez. I figured it would take like half an hour, 45 minutes to finish this playground off. Guess not. Yeah, I'm sliding down the slide. Although we are at 98%, we're just about done. It's a good thing we didn't try to finish it last week. It would have been crazy. Let's see. What another interesting game? What has Naughty Dog been up to recently? They I know they did The Last of Us remasters. Seems like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love The Last of Us. It seems like they've been stuck on The Last of Us for a little while now. They need to get some new stuff going. I'm sure they're probably working on the third game for that. Playing since when did the last Uncharted come out? Ever since then, it's just been all Last of Us. Okay, Mr. Stego Slide. What's left with you, buddy? This side, yeah, okay, there we go. I wouldn't mind, you know, looking at some of the Naughty Dog games, like all the way back. I think they started with was it Crash Bandicoot? That's them, right? Crash Bandicoot. Is that how you say it? Or am I mixing it up with somebody else? I know they did some kind of platformer kind of game. I thought it was that one, but I could be wrong. Or was it Spyro the Dragon they did? Did they do Spyro the Dragon? Look at that. I think they're working on another one, Crash Bandicoot, but I don't quote me on that. Okay. Yeah. They need to get off of... Not that I have anything against Last of Us, but it's... I need to, like, broaden a little bit, I think. I mean, I love Last of Us. Okay, buddy. What's left with you? The underside here. There you go. Okay. What do we have left? They'll probably have to get part 3 done before they make the 3rd season of the show. You think so? I think the 3rd season of the show is going to cover the second half of the second game. I would think. I'm trying to think about where they ended off in Last of Us Part 2. I just watched your playthrough. Not that long ago, but now I'm drawing a little bit of a blank. Did they leave it on a cliffhanger? Can't remember. This tabletop is dirty. There we go. Oh, you haven't seen season 2? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to spoil. But no, the bottom line is that no, they've got another season out of game 2, or yes, they got another season out of game 2 still to go. So they've got time if they want to put off that, although not a ton of time. I suppose they would have to be working on it. Okay, what am I missing here? Don't see anything popping up. The game ended with Ellie letting Abby leave with That's right. Yes, yes. The big battle at the edge of the lake. Yeah. Or the edge of the ocean, I suppose it was. That's right. Well, I think I'm going to have to look up what we're missing here. The Climbing Bull Guards. Okay, sure. Okay, yeah. There you go. Okay. Now we got a to-do list. Large bridge slats. Large bridge. What's this thing? Oh, some of these slots are not clean. Oh, you rad bastards. How dare you not be clean? 'Cause I'm not seeing anything here. Okay, dude. Made it home. Gonna have to shoot. Catch the rest of the stream later. All right. Take care, Tag. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping in. All right. What is with this thing? Where can I put this that would be useful? Doesn't seem especially useful. Okay, there's one. This one I just am not seeing. What am I missing here? Sure. There you are. This one. There you go. Slide guards. Slide guards. What does a slide guard look like? That's all just one piece. Oh. These things. There you go. Small bridge slots. Small bridge slots. That must be this guy. You. That'd do it. Nice. Job completed. Okay. Get to watch. Cool. Very nice. 5 stars. Okay, should we do something nice and easy like the golf cart? I think we should. $100. I need to clean my sorry golf cart. You might have heard about my poor cat Ulysses going missing. We're all frantic with worry, what with the ceremony just around the corner. I swear I saw him on the golf course frolicking on the lily pads in the lake by the 13th par 3, but I always get a birdie. By the time I realized it was just a boisterous carpet, it was too late. I slammed on the brakes and went tumbling down the slope head over tail. Don't worry, docs have given me all clear, said they'd never seen anyone recover from such a minor incident in so little time. But the cart needs a hose down. Alright. Fair enough. Howdy, Dirt Finder. Put everything on hold. My golf buggy's soiled like you wouldn't believe. Alright. Let's do it. Continue. Well, that seems like it's going to be fairly easy. Doesn't seem like there's a lot to it. Famous last words. So maybe we'll finish this and call it a day after this. I know it's a bit of a shorter stream. I've got a lot to do today, and we got a late start, so just in the interest of my day not being crazy. yeah, I mean, I feel like in terms of the games that we've got going, in many respects, in some of the games anyway, I feel like we're actually closer than, or further along than we think, or than I've been thinking we are. There goes a rather loud car. It's tires. That's not how you spell tire. You can tell this game is produced by somebody who is British. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think in reality, we're not imminently going to finish anything soon, but I think by the end of the year, we might be on a whole different set of games. With possibly the exception of Immortals, because that one's going to go past 3 months. Am I right about that? I mean, maybe God of War, maybe, I think it'll be close. Saboteur for sure, we'll be done by the end of the year. Dragon Ball, we should be. Star Wars will definitely be, that's not even a question. I know exactly how many episodes that's going to be, so. Did we just get a message? Oh, we just got a star, that's what that noise was. Steering wheel. Nice. Already 65% done. So I think if I get to it this week, and I open up Unreal Editor and actually start working on the thing that I'm working on and get some decent progress out of it, I've done some research, so I think I know what I'm going to do. I'll show it to you guys next week and see where we're at. I would be interested to see if I could do it, just for the sake of seeing if I could do it. There's no real grand plan for the system that I'm thinking about, but here goes that car again. Same car. This is why I record early in the mornings when before all the traffic gets out on the road. Unfortunately, my room is not soundproof. We have a motorcycle that goes by. You guys have probably heard it. Pretty much every morning at 5:30, somewhere between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. Even on the weekends. It's pretty loud. But I mean, you know, I think I've said this before. That's part of the charm of a of an independent channel, right? Let's see. Let's get you out here. You know, all the motorcycles and dogs barking and cars going by. That's what it's all about. 99% body, bumper, body. Let's see. There you are. Okay, the bumper. This thing? Oh, yeah. Whoops. There we go. That was easy. $740. Woohoo! Okay, let's get this checking that out. I feel like it's time for an outfit change. Noise. Looking at the golf cart now, it's almost like the whole thing never happened. You're a genius, Dirt Finder. Much obliged. So there was no other messages. Okay, so cool. Okay, let's go into the store, which is here, right? And let's see what we can get with our $740. So we got to medium duty. No, that's $2,000. It also requires 40 stars, which we only have 30. So no washers for you. Equipment, cleaning liquids, clothing, modifications. Urban X U2 Research Edition. Originally rewarded for participation in the Oxford Research Study, now available for all. What does it do? I mean, what am I spending $100 for? I guess it's just a... Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and buy it. Why not? So we can't do any of these. Let's look at equipment. So we own... I wish it would take the stuff that you own off the screen. I can much easier see what I'm doing. How are these different? I don't know. Short extension. Okay. Why can't I buy this one? Don't really know. Okay. The Urban X U2 soap nozzle. Oh, so you got to get a soap nozzle per every single different kind of... Okay, I'm with you. Let's go to our clothing. Let's see what else we could get. Festive style clothing, custom gloves. This one requires 190 stars. Jeez. How about purple? We could do Saints Row themed, right? Let's buy purple gloves. And let's buy the purple outfit. I like it. We'll do Saints Row. Right, we did that already. So that just leaves equipment. Yeah, I don't know. Let's buy this one. Sure, why not? And we'll buy the short extension. And the long extension. Okay, that's good. Probably never ever use those, but we'll have them. Cleaning liquids. Let's see. We have... What do we have? Does it tell me what I currently own? Doesn't really, huh? Multi-purpose. Plastic. Stone. Metal. And now I'm broke. Cool. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, let's get out of the shop. So next time we will be wearing the... Let's see. How do I put them on? Hard to say. Am I not doing that right? Okay, well, we'll have to go into... We had this problem once before, right? Specials. What are specials? Oh, yeah, this stuff. Yeah. I'm going to do Alice's Adventures. I think these are... Are these not paid? I can't remember. Tomb Raider. Nice. SpongeBob. Back to the Future. Warhammer. Wallace and Gromit. Shrek. So just for instance... Yeah, it's purchase. Okay. That's what I thought. We may do them, we may not. Who knows? We'll see. We'll finish the main game before we start messing around with that. And I don't know that we're going to finish the main game, guys. I just... No clue. I have no real plan here. I'm just doing whatever. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it. I think we're going to stop here. I know it's only been like an hour and a half, so it's a bit of a shorter stream, but I don't want to start the big house yet. And also, I've got stuff to do today, and we got a late start. So I think we're going to call it here. Thanks for stopping by. Especially thanks for Evra and Tag for stopping in and chatting. if you guys want to come in and chat, come chat. You're more than welcome. Don't feel like you're being excluded or anything. The more the merrier. So just come on in. All right, for those of you who are watching after the fact on VOD, if you have questions, comments, concerns, put them in the description or put them in the comments below. I will get to them next week if anyone wants to chime in. All right, other than that, guys, thanks for stopping by, and I will see y'all next week. Take care.